perception, it biased me against it. But it did give me a better understanding of the nature of the historical process, the purpose and manner of historical research and writing. In my early studies, I was mainly interested in medieval history, in the period when the Islamic Middle East was most different from the West, least affected by the West, and in most respects far in advance of the West. I never lost my interest in medieval Islamic history, but it is no longer my primary concern. The opportunity to enter the hitherto sealed Ottoman archives in 1950 was too good to miss. It provided me with a chance to pursue a topic in which I was already deeply interested, the history of the Ottoman Empire. Most of my published work since then has been on the Ottoman and modern periods, or some combination of the two. But no specialist on the Middle East, not even an Assyriologist or an Egyptologist, can wholly ignore the contemporary scene. My war service gave me an intimate knowledge of some aspects of modern Middle Eastern life and politics. My travels in Middle Eastern countries, my discussions with Middle Eastern leaders, my meetings with Middle Eastern colleagues, and, perhaps most of all, my encounters with Middle Eastern students and later with former students kept me in touch with what was going on. From time to time, I ceded to the temptation to make some public pronouncement on Middle Eastern events, usually in the form of an interview or article in some review or magazine, or occasionally newspaper. And I have occasionally written at greater length on recent and contemporary topics. For the study of Middle Eastern history, and at the present time one might even add of world history, some knowledge of Islam's origins and of its scriptures is necessary. Already in my student years, I was reading the Quran, the biography of the Prophet, and the extensive literature concerned with them. But at no time did I specialize in these topics. I am not an expert in theology or scripture, and I looked at these, if at all, only with a historian's eye. I am, by vocation and profession, a historian, principally interested in the history of civilization. Looking back, I see that by this choice I saved myself a lot of trouble. This was not my purpose at the time, but I have become well aware of my narrow and fortunate escape from one of the most difficult and dangerous topics of our profession. Even for Muslims, and far more so for non-Muslims, the study of the sacred biography and the sacred text has become highly sensitive, not so much a field of research as a minefield. This has not prevented my critics from attacking me for my treatment of Muslim scripture and sacred biography. In this, as in other matters, the attacks came from both sides. On the one side, I am accused of traducing Islam and its sanctities. On the other, of defending and even concealing its flaws. As long as the attacks continue to come from both sides, I shall remain confident of my scholarly objectivity. Once, many years ago, when I was travelling in Syria, I had a long conversation one evening with a professional man of religion, discussing such matters as theology and law and other primary Islamic concerns. At one point, he interrupted our conversation and exclaimed in astonishment, "I don't understand. You know so much about Islam. Why didn't you become a Muslim?" Both the question and its possible answers may reveal much about the Islamic world today. We live in a time when great energies are being devoted to the falsification of history, to flatter, to deceive, or to serve some sectional purpose. No good can come of such distortions, even when they are inspired by unselfish motives. History is the collective memory, and if we think of the social body in terms of the human body, no history means amnesia. Distorted history means neurosis. Those who are unwilling to confront the past will be unable to understand the present and unfit to face the future. A great responsibility, therefore, falls on historians, whose moral and professional duty it is to seek out the truth concerning the past, and present and explain it as they see it. I have endeavoured to fulfil this responsibility.